All of you that have seen your family killed, you now have something that stands for you. It has put the weapons of this war back in your hands of you, the young.
You're listening to Compton's very own Ice Cube, Eazy-E, and Dr. Dre. I gotta tell you, you are witnessing history. People are scared of you guys.
The Beast of No Nation there, and then straight out of Compton. 2 films snubbed this year in acting categories of the Oscar. Let's get back to our panel. Dan Pearson here in the studio. Which one of those films, or any other, do you think has been overlooked? I mean, obviously we said straight out of Compton there, but there was Creed, there was Concussion.
I love Creed.
That's the one where...
I love Creed. I love Creed. And Beast of No Nation. Beast of No Nation, children soldiers. I mean, come on.
Yeah, child soldiers in West Africa,
soldier,
yeah.
But they, you know, a 65-year-old white guy who's making decisions sees that child and he doesn't relate because that child does not look like his child. And it's still reflective. You know, we're human. We resonate with what we feel close to. And it may seem as though I'm harboring on race, but it is true. It's everyday life.
And it's important in these studies that they say time and time again, and I'm going to put this to Ana-Christina Ramon, that it's very important for people to see themselves in movies, or people that feel and look like themselves, correct?
Yeah, definitely. It's important for people to see themselves. In terms of just even thinking about TV, that's the medium that is actually the most popular still. You know, people say that the internet is obviously becoming more and more popular, but people actually watch TV more than anything else out there, any other medium. And so that's still the source for most people to find out what's going on in the world and to understand what the world is like. And so when you only see a certain group represented, then you think that the world is only portrayed in that way. Then you think that the world is a certain way. And if you don't see yourself in that picture, then you have no way to reference what's going on in your life if that's something that is common, there's no way to kind of feel that you are being represented in the world.
Yeah, it's a mirror sometimes, isn't it? It's quite incredible. Roger Ross Williams, I'm glad you mentioned TV, by the way, Ana-Christina, because TV seems to be doing such a better job than Hollywood in terms of diversity and original programming, Netflix and Amazon. I mean, I'm thinking of the Orange is the New Black, Blackish. If anyone caught the last episode about police violence, that was incredibly powerful. Scandal, Empire, I could go on. Let's go to Roger Ross Williams. Why is TV doing such a better job, according to analysts on this?
I think because TV's serving and the audience this is America is a diverse country, and they're serving America. So these are what people want, the kind of shows people want to see. It's amazing because Netflix actually is really sort of pushing the boundaries with Beast of No Nation, and I mean Netflix made a big play this year at Sundance for Nate Parker's film Birth of a Nation, and I think like really sort of a lot of the groundbreaking stuff, a lot of the pushing of boundaries is coming from like Netflix and Amazon.
But also the networks are getting involved. I mean, Scandal, I must admit I'm a huge fan, Dan, but I didn't realize until recently it's the first black female lead on television in nearly 40 years. That's quite incredible.
What was the last, Julia?
I don't know. I mean, I'm British. I didn't grow up here, but that just popped out of me.
I'm happy to see Fresh Off the Boat, even though I don't like the title, but I'm happy.
That's the one about Asian Americans, right?
I love the kid on the show.
It's hilarious. We did a whole show on that.
I love seeing other people. I love seeing the diversity of families, because when you look back in a family, we're all one people. Some are lighter, some are darker, some are chubbier, some are skinnier, some are smarter. I want to see the whole gumbo. That's what I want to see. But it's Hollywood, that's Hollywood wouldn't see that because the first thing they say is the bottom line, the bottom line, the bottom line. But black movies make money.
But not all movies do make money, do they? I mean, you know, you spend a lot of time in LA.
They take the money made with the black films and pump it into a white film that doesn't make any money.
Ana-Christina Ramon.
Yeah, that's what our study shows.
Tell us a bit more about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so our study actually shows just, I was referring to it earlier in the terms of the relationship between diversity and the bottom line. And so when you look at our findings, you see that movies that are more diverse make more money at the box office and have a higher rate of return on the investment. So in terms of how much they cost to make in their budgets and then the box office profits that they made, movies that are pretty diverse in terms of having casts that have about 40 to 50% minorities, those movies actually perform the best in terms of box office success and rate of return on investment.
Do you have any examples of movies that did that?
Well, one example that everyone is aware of is the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Right.
And so that wasn't in our particular report this year, but every time that it's come up in our reports, obviously that movie is the best example of all. And when you look at movies like Ride Along, any of the movies that have come out recently with black leads, they've actually done extremely well at the box office in terms of, especially when you compare it to the budgets that they had. And so the profitability is very high for those movies, and that's something that definitely makes business sense to invest in movies like that, because they bring in the dollars, and so obviously for if it's show business, there's the word business in there, so you want to make money, right? And so it's in the best interest of these studios to invest in movies that have diverse casts with diverse stories.
Roger Ross Williams, can you pick up on that? Because in the report, it basically suggests that there's this false notion as well, this sort of trade-off between diversity and excellence. And what Ana-Christina just said is completely opposite.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in the documentary world, for example, we cover social issues, and you would think, because a lot of documentaries are about underserved communities, are about injustice, and most of the people making those documentaries are white filmmakers. There are very few African American or even people of color making documentaries. It's not a diverse, you would think it would be a diverse community, but it's not.
Dan, obviously we've talked about the Oscars. They're happening on Sunday night. Its audience was down 16% last year. Do you think that has something to do with the fact that they're just not representing everyone who might be watching?
I think that young people will lead the way to change. And when they're in power, it'll be fresh, it'll be new. It's stale. In my opinion, it's stale. So, we need fresh blood, fresh views, fresh opinions, new movies, new leads, new characters, diversity. Young people listen to music, they go to a show, you look at the audience, it's a mix of everyone. But then you look at the television or a movie, you see one people. And that's the majority of the time. So, in my opinion, young people are going to lead the way.
And Ana-Christina Ramon, what do you advise people to do post-Sunday? Because, the social media campaign will hit its full height, of course, as the Oscars go out. But come Monday morning, what do you do with the campaign?
Well, one thing to consider in terms of who the audience is, who are moviegoers. When you look at frequent moviegoers, 51% are minorities, and Latinos in particular oversample in terms of frequent moviegoers. And so the minority audience really wants to go to the movies and wants to find a movie then that they can also relate to, wants to see themselves,
Right.
They want to see themselves represented on the big screen, and so they're there, they're hungry, they're
Right.
ready for those types of movies to be made.
Good.
And so you can only imagine that if they're already frequent moviegoers, how much more money you can make if you do have movies that are more diverse.
Right.
And
I just
so,
want to, sorry, we're
yeah.
just running out of time, and I want to talk
Sorry.
about types of movies. Just quickly, 30 seconds, Dan, we've got for all. What is the movie that should win the Oscar over the weekend?
The Revenant and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay, and Ana-Christina Ramon?
I think The Revenant has they're trending, and they're probably going to win.
Roger Ross Williams, who would you like to see win?
Absolutely, The Revenant.